Governmental Organizations' Role in Disaster by Liliana Torres, student of Foundation of Emergency Management in the graduate level in the Panama campus. What are non-governmental organizations? Are recognized as the key third sector actor in the landscape of development, human rights, humanitarian action, environment, and many other areas of public action. NGOs are best known for two different but often interrelated types of activity: the delivery of services to people in need and the organization of policy advocacy and public campaigns in pursuit of social transformation. NGOs are also active in a wide range of other specialized roles, such as democracy building, conflict resolution, human rights work, cultural preservation, environmental activism, policy analysis, research, and information provision. This definition was taken from a non-governmental organization definition and history, and there is the reference for this definition. NGOs are known for be organizations that fill in the gap in information, knowledge, financing services, capacities between citizens or the community in general and the national and local governments. NGOs can also be defined as non-for-profit or private voluntary organizations that have an interest in solving general problems ranging from poverty to disaster relief. Their interests are independent from interests of the states and different players such as political parties. NGOs are known as private voluntary organizations, are an important actor in developing countries where they deliver development aid in a considerably more efficiently manner than states or intergovernmental organizations. Global disaster risk reduction initiatives have become a collective humanitarian imperative in which every actor has a stake in disaster response and risk reduction. The increasing roles of NGOs in humanitarian relief and disaster risk reduction have been a good complement to the international humanitarian and disaster management systems and to governments. In the U.S., the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, considers nonprofit sectors as partners in events when the government cannot work alone in emergency management. As mentioned before, NGOs are defined as nonprofit or private voluntary organizations that have an interest in solving general problems ranging from poverty to disaster relief. NGOs collaborate with the first responders, governments at all levels, and other agencies and organizations providing relief services to sustain life, reduce physical and emotional distress, and promote recovery of disaster victims when assistance is not available from other sources. This definition is taken from the book of Introduction to Emergency Management from Haddock, Bullock, and Coppola. An important role in NGOs is during the planning and implementation of all stages of emergency management, hazard mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. So let's take a look at NGOs in emergency management stages. First, mitigation. The involvement of NGOs during the mitigation phase include hazard awareness, education, training, and formation of local and first responders and emergency teams. NGOs are considered part of the disaster management committees and teams and participate in the development of disaster management plans. During the pre-disaster phase, the mitigation stage, NGOs' participation include awareness generation, education, training, and formation of local task force. They participate in disaster management committees and teams. They develop disaster management plans, conducting mock emergency training, vulnerability assessment, and coordination with government and non-government agencies. It is important to bring basic awareness and sensibilization of the general public as a primary need under disaster mitigation, and they work in awareness campaign on safe construction and habitat development, on sustainable development and environment-friendly lifestyles. Sensibilization events, mass media campaigns, rally, public advertisement messages are used to reach out to these issues. Education and sensibilization of the school children, including comprehension of disasters, kind of disaster, causes and impacts, vulnerability and capacity, and appropriate actions before, during, and after disasters. During preparedness, NGOs are instrumental in training community volunteers, particularly those related to development fields such as education, livelihoods, health, water, and sanitation. NGOs have a direct role in mobilizing, creating public awareness, providing capacity building, intervention as a volunteers in the attention and provision of first aid resources in time of disaster. Private and non-profit sectors are encouraged to develop contingency plans and to work with state, tribal, local, and territorial planners to ensure that their plans are consistent with pertinent plans, national planning frameworks, and the National Incident Management System in the case of the U.S. In response, NGOs play a key role in the aftermath of disasters, providing assistance in rescue and first aid, sanitation and hygiene, damage assessment, and assistance to external agency, procuring immediate assistance with food relief, temporary shelter, emergency medical aid, debris removal, and habitat restoration. During recovery phase, NGOs can take a lead by providing technical and material support for safe construction, revival of educational institutions, and restoration of means of livelihood, and assist the government in monitoring the pace of implementation for various reconstruction and recovery programs. In the U.S. are, among others, the Salvation Army, American Red Cross, and Operation Blessing. This is a list of references I've used to put up this presentation. And finally, these are some images from my work, and well, trying to put this presentation for you in a proper manner. I really hope that you've found that this explanation is helpful for you during the course, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.